Every 61-year-old woman in Kyoto wakes up the same way. No alarm panic, no phone in her hand, just a quiet room and a glass of water. Her waistline hasn't changed in years, yet she has never counted a calorie or stepped inside a gym. Strange, right? We're told fat loss means eating less and moving more, but her mornings break that rule completely. The real trigger isn't food, it's a hormone hiding inside your first 30 minutes awake, quietly deciding where your body stores fat. Today, we uncover 5 tiny Japanese rituals built around that hormone and why skipping them might be why your stomach won't budge no matter how hard you try. Before we start, tell me, what's the very first thing you do after opening your eyes? Drop it below. Section 1. Asa no Mizu. The water. The moment her eyes open, she doesn't reach for her phone. She reaches for a glass of lukewarm water, sipped slowly, sometimes with a pinch of salt or a slice of lemon stirred in. No coffee, not yet, no screen light, no notifications, nothing but the quiet weight of the glass in her hand. Most people assume this is just about hydration. Drink water, feel less thirsty, move on with the day. But that's not why it works. After 8 hours of sleep, your body is already mildly dehydrated, and it's also sitting in a naturally sensitive state, primed to react to whatever comes next. Feed it caffeine in that state, and the stress response spikes before you've even left the bed. Your heart rate climbs a little faster than it needs to. Your mind jumps straight into alert mode, hours before you actually needed to be alert. Warm water does the opposite. There's no shock to it, no sudden chemical demand placed on a body that's still finding its footing. It rehydrates gently, and it gives your digestive system a slow, easy nudge instead of a jolt. The natural salt some people add helps replace minerals lost overnight through sweat and breathing. And if lemon is involved, the small dose of vitamin C offers extra support right when the body could use it. None of this is dramatic. None of it feels like a health hack. It's just quiet maintenance, first thing, before anything else gets a say. And that's really the whole point. Your body doesn't process the morning through logic. It processes it through chemistry, through signals, through whatever arrives first. A calm chemical entrance sets the tone for every hormone that follows for the rest of the day. Start with urgency, and the body assumes urgency is the theme. Start with ease, and it assumes ease is safe to continue. It sounds too small to matter. A glass of water? Somehow connected to stubborn belly fat? I doubted it too. The first time I heard it explained this way, it felt like the kind of thing people say to sound wise without actually meaning much. But then I saw what she does in the next 10 minutes of her morning, and the water suddenly made a lot more sense because it was never the real trick. It was just the door opening onto something far more deliberate. Section 2. Asa no Sanpo. The sunlight. She steps outside next. Not to exercise, not to burn anything or hit a step count. Just a slow walk. Sometimes to a nearby temple, sometimes only as far as her own front step. Standing there for a few quiet minutes before turning back inside. Here's where most people get it backwards. They assume the walking itself is the point. That movement is what matters. It isn't, not really. What actually matters is the light hitting her eyes within that first hour of being awake. That light does something most of us never think about. It resets the body's internal clock, the same clock quietly running in the background all day, controlling hunger, sleep, energy, and metabolism without asking permission. Miss that window, and the clock drifts. Slowly, almost invisibly at first. Hunger cues blur, so you feel hungry at strange times, or never quite satisfied. Sleep turns shallower, even after a full 8 hours. And a body running on a misaligned clock struggles to release fat, no matter how carefully you're eating or how hard you're training. This is often the missing piece for people doing everything right on paper and still not seeing the mirror change. There's a second, quieter gift hidden inside this walk too. That same early light helps the brain produce a calming chemical, one connected to mood and ease throughout the day. By nightfall, that same chemical converts into the hormone responsible for deep, restorative sleep, which means those 10 minutes outside aren't just working on today, they're quietly building tomorrow's rest. Before tomorrow has even started. Water first, sunlight second. At this point, you'd expect coffee to come next. Most mornings do. Hers doesn't. And the reason she waits, deliberately, on purpose, is about to change how you think about your first cup entirely. Section 3. Ma, the pause. There's a word in Japanese. Ma. It means the space between two things. Not emptiness, not nothing happening, purpose. A deliberate gap that shapes what comes on either side of it. And she applies this idea to the one habit most of us can't imagine skipping: coffee. She doesn't skip it. She delays it on purpose every single morning. Here's why that small delay matters more than it sounds like it should. The moment you wake up, your brain is still clearing a natural sleep-related chemical from your system, a process that takes roughly 90 minutes to finish on its own. Drink caffeine before that process completes, and it doesn't actually remove the sleepiness underneath. It just buries it temporarily, masking the signal while the chemical keeps quietly building in the background, waiting for the caffeine to wear off. That's the real cause behind the crash so many people blame on bad sleep. It usually isn't the night before at all. It's the timing of that very first cup, reached for too early, before the body had finished its own natural wake-up sequence. Wait until that process finishes on its own, and something shifts. The same coffee stops covering up fatigue and starts adding to energy that's already genuinely there. It works with your body instead of patching over it. Some people even notice they need less coffee overall once they start timing it this way, not because the coffee changed, but because their body wasn't starting each day already behind. One pause, one small, deliberate delay chosen instead of rushed into. And this quiet habit is about to walk straight into one of the biggest myths in the entire fitness world, the one about what your body actually needs the moment you start moving. Section 4. Sanpo the walk, not the workout. Ask almost anyone what to do first thing to lose belly fat, and you'll hear the same advice everywhere. Run, sweat, push hard, earn it. Her answer does the opposite entirely. A slow 20 to 30-minute walk. No sprinting, no heart rate targets, no calorie-burning agenda hanging over it. Remember that hormone from earlier, already rising on its own the moment you wake? It's elevated by design, a completely natural part of starting the day. Stack an intense workout directly on top of that natural climb, and you're not simply building fitness, you're adding fuel to a fire that's already lit. For some bodies, especially ones already holding on to stubborn fat around the stomach, that combination backfires in a very specific way. A body under repeated pressure like this protects itself the only way it knows how. It doesn't distribute stored fat evenly. It concentrates it around the midsection, shielding the organs underneath, treating stress as danger rather than progress. This is why so many people can train hard every single day, eat cleanly, do everything the fitness world tells them to, and still watch that one area refuse to shift. A gentle walk sidesteps that trap completely. It moves the body without alarming it, without triggering the same defensive response. And there's a second, quieter effect layered underneath the physical one, watching the world pass slowly, trees and sidewalks, and people moving at an ordinary pace, seems to calm the part of the brain that's constantly scanning for threats, constantly bracing for something to handle. Feet moving, mind settling, neither one forcing the other, both simply allowed to happen at their own pace. 4 habits are behind us now. But the 5th one has nothing to do with food, movement, or timing at all, and it might be the hardest thing you're asked to do all day. Section 5. Seijaku. The silence, the best. This last habit isn't about her body at all. It's about her phone, or more accurately, the absence of it, for just a handful of minutes that most of us skip entirely. She doesn't check it. Not messages, not email, not the news, not anything waiting on the other side of the screen. Just a few minutes of Seijaku, deep, undisturbed quiet. Before the world gets a chance to speak first, before anyone else's voice enters the room. Think about what usually happens the second most of us wake up. A notification, a demand disguised as information. Someone else's opinion, someone else's emergency, someone else's carefully curated life landing on the screen. Before our eyes have even adjusted to the light in the room. We don't get to choose how the day begins. The screen chooses for us every single time we let it go first. And your body reacts exactly the way it would to any sudden threat. Alert, tense, braced for whatever's coming, all before you've even sat up. Silence tells the body the exact same thing that water did an hour earlier. You are safe. There is no emergency. Nothing here requires you to brace. And that message, arriving through stillness instead of liquid or light, may matter more than any single habit before it. Because it's the one most directly aimed at the nervous system itself. The control center quietly running every hormone this entire video has talked about. 5 habits in total. No diet, no gym membership, no supplements, no tracking apps, no complicated system to maintain. Just water, light, a pause, a walk, and silence in that exact order every single morning, asking almost nothing and quietly changing almost everything. None of these 5 habits work if you do them out of order. Water before light, light before coffee, coffee before the walk, and silence holding the whole sequence together. Break that order, and each piece quietly loses half its power. But there's one more thing Japanese mornings get right that we haven't touched yet. What happens the night before? In the 10 minutes before sleep, that makes tomorrow's entire reset actually possible in the first place. If you want to see that video next, click the one on your screen right now. It shows you the exact evening routine that makes this whole morning sequence actually stick.